Imagine having a difficult time connecting with people. Every time you reach out, no one seems to be there. Then try keeping a job when noises, smells, and high volumes of activity overwhelm you, stopping you from being productive. That is what the world of Aspergers feels like. In this film, we are exploring this world from two directions. From a professional clinical point of view, as well as from a woman who has authored a book, Asperger's Syndrome, When Life Hands You Lemons, Make Lemonade. Anita Lesko has lived with Asperger's and has overcome many of its challenges. This film shares her experiences and insights that individuals with Asperger's and their families can learn from. At first, it will open your understanding and deliver a different perspective. Then use it later as a reference tool to help others. Anita's goal is that those with Asperger's will look at their lives as a blessing, with many talents and abilities few can enjoy. It is an optimistic film and book that changes the way many people feel about this unique gift.
When you have Asperger's syndrome, it's almost difficult in a way to describe because you're trying to explain to somebody who doesn't have it that you're different than other people. You sense it inside. I started to sense it probably when I was about 4 or 5 years old, when I would start going to kindergarten and realize that other kids didn't want to really come by me. And if I wonder at that point, you wonder why. Why do those children not want to come by me? I would try to make the attempt to go to them to play, only they would kind of look at me like I was from outer space and walk away.
For people who don't have Asperger's, what it's really like is one of the primary things is problems with communication in relationships, and that's both in childhood and adulthood. They have difficulty in maintaining relationships, difficulty with friendships. They have difficulty understanding subtle cues of communication, nonverbal and verbal.
When your child starts elaborating on their special interests, whether it's dinosaurs or insects or whatever it is, as much as it seems like it's overwhelming the amount of information they want to talk about, they're connecting with you on an emotional level, so embrace that fact and just be happy that they're connecting with you and take advantage of that opportunity to connect back with that. That F-15 flight was the most exciting experience I've ever had in my entire life, and that to me is the biggest example to show that when you have a laser focus and you're willing to work for it, because it certainly wasn't handed to me. I had to work. I spent 7 years working on it, but I never gave up. And I just kept going and going, and one step, next step, building blocks until I achieved that goal. And I can remember to this day every little detail of sitting in the back seat of that F-15 getting ready to turn out on the flight line, and when my pilot who flew me was the lieutenant colonel, and I could hear in my headphones in my helmet everything what he's hearing from the air tower when it said Crow 5-1 cleared for takeoff, and I thought, here it comes. And I can remember sitting in that seat and pulled out onto that runway, and he released the brakes, and off we went like a racehorse out of the gate. I can still feel that thrill of that day. And I just want to always emphasize that anything is possible. When you want to do something, you can do it. Just never give up and just think positive and just keep working at it.
You may be diagnosed with Asperger's, but it gives you incredible opportunity to do great things. Your ability to focus in and hone your attention in on certain details can result in great things. Many folks who have done big things have gone on to do wonderful work and made a huge impact in this world. And they've been diagnosed with Asperger's. So being able to focus on your strengths, your abilities, is so important in any situation that you're in. So take advantage of that. View that as a positive, and seeing the glass is half full is really good and beneficial to you in any work that you do.
People who are married or in a relationship with someone with Asperger's are going to see a number of issues arise. And these issues are going to be in relating to each other, and especially at an emotional level. Emotions may go unnoticed. There may be a lack of emotional understanding between the two adults. And so again, we're having the troubles connecting, and the trouble communicating at more of an intimate level can be a problem. Beyond that, for the partner who does not have Asperger's, you have to remember that you can't expect your loved one to recognize your emotional frustrations when they come up. they may not. And it isn't because they don't care, it's because they don't recognize them. And so again, communication is one of the most important ways around this.
Another aspect that I've experienced in the workplace is bullying. When you get bullied as a child, it's one thing, or even in high school, it's one thing, but now when you get bullied in your work environment, that's a different story, because now that could potentially jeopardize your livelihood. So now it becomes a much more serious situation. So now, as a parent with a child with Asperger's, don't be upset at the fact that your child is 17 or 18 years old and they're not all focused on what are the latest fashions, who are they going to date, are they going to go to the prom, because generally, from all my readings and from my own personal experience, those kind of issues are really not important at all, don't have any real spark any interest in a teenager with Asperger's syndrome.
So in conclusion, the person with Asperger's brings a lot of really exciting things to the table. They can be given very complex, detail-oriented tasks and be extremely successful at those.